Well, the Forge is a makerspace that we've developed here at the Ela Area Public Library. The inspiration came from a visit to Aarhus, Denmark, and the public library in Aarhus, Denmark. And their makerspace is front and center visible in front of the entry when you first walk in the library. And most of the makerspaces that we've seen in libraries are a little hidden and maybe tucked away in a basement or in the back. We wanted it to be really visible and really up front, and that's what we try to make it. So it's sort of inviting and creative and part of the actual space when you walk in. Well, I think part of it is to give people an opportunity to build skills that maybe they haven't built before, both with new technology and with existing technology, things like all kinds of crafting and sewing and any kind of hands-on experience. So it's developing new skills, giving people an outlet for developing those skills and a way to build communities around the kind of projects that they build. Well, we want to make sure that our library is a place where people can create and express themselves, and we do that both in terms of reading, but also in terms of creating objects and creating content. We have a digital media lab that gives people a chance to develop video and audio and music, and this is kind of an extension of that it's not just the video and audio that people can create, but actual things that they can use in their lives.
As long as we're talking nuts and bolts, what are some of the components of this makerspace?
We have a couple of 3D printers, a 3D scanner, sewing machines, a lot of kits to teach kids about electronics and circuitry. We have all kinds of sewing kits to teach people how to do looms and all kinds of crafts. And the plan is for this space to grow. We have a vinyl cutter as well. And the plan is for this space to grow and to have new content, new tools as people show an interest and as budget allows us to increase the capabilities of what we have. I want to talk a little bit about the vision and the purpose of what this space is. The makerspace as an idea might be a little bit new for many people. What is the makerspace? It's a place where people can come and learn and design, create, and build many different kinds of objects. We have 3D printers. It's right here. I'm sure a lot of you will be crowded around this table to see the 3D printer. We're going to have a couple of computers. You can kind of see the screens through there. We have computers that will help you design 3D objects that you can print on this printer. We've got kits for learning about circuitry and programming and electronics. We've got sewing machines, looms, and all kinds of crafting kits that will give people a chance to learn those kind of skills. We've got a vinyl cutter that's great to work on paper and vinyl to create signs and cards and really intricate crafts. So those are the kinds of things we're starting with, and that inventory of tools is going to grow over time. So we'll have more tools. So if you have ideas for things that we can do in the space, let us know. This is your space, so let us know. So when we decided that we wanted to build this makerspace, it was important for us that it was visible and inviting for everybody that walks in the door. And if you'll notice where it's located, this is the adult and popular materials area here. Just behind us is children's, and the teen area is right here. This is a space for all ages. It's not just for kids, it's not just for teens, it's not just for adults, it's for everybody. So there's going to be things for all ages. We want this place to be a special place for hands-on learning and skill building, as well as a collaborative place for people who share similar interests to teach and learn from one another. This isn't just about librarians teaching people how to sew. This is about the community learning how to do things together and finding experts in the community that might want to teach others and share their hobbies.
Welcome to Forge. My name's Leah. I'm the head of popular materials and the manager of this really, really awesome space. Forge was created with this specific community in mind. The patrons of our library are already makers. We serve so many artists and engineers and crafters and programmers and people who are into technology and people who are into the arts. And we are so lucky to create this space for you. This space is also for people who maybe want to create, but just didn't know that they wanted to until they saw this space. if you haven't had time, if you didn't think that you were creative, I urge you to go into Forge and check it out, because I can guarantee there's something in there for you too. So this space is also for people who just don't know that they're makers yet. We put a lot of thought into this space. We wanted it to be very functional and useful to the community. It's a place to connect, it's a place to create. And as we continue to roll out new services over the next few months, we hope that you will find Forge fun, important, and useful.
Lowspot Mini 3D printer. It is basically an open source machine. They publish the designs of a lot of these parts are actually 3D printed, so we can print replacements if something's breaking down. It's very high quality. We've been really pleased with it. Awesome customer service from this company. There's a little leak. We're going to get a new nozzle. They're going to help us fix it. They've helped us learn about it. Some of these objects on the table here, we've printed with this 3D printer.
This was printed with a 3D printer?
Yeah, this octopus was done with this 3D printer. It's very accurate and awesome. It weighs 5 grams. The inside is hollow with just kind of an infill pattern to make it work as a structure. And yeah.
Now, which parts were 3D printed on this machine?
Anything that you can see that's kind of streaky, if you see these little streaks, those are parts that were 3D printed with another, not this 3D printer of course, but with a different 3D printer. The fact that a lot of the parts in this 3D printer were 3D printed themselves makes this what's called a RepRap 3D printer, rapidly replaceable or something like that. So yeah, it's a very open source 3D printer for an open space.
This is the first time we've seen it. We knew about it. Excited to do it.
What interests you about this?
Go ahead.
The 3D printer that's open for use.
I'm an engineer. We have a 3D printer at work, and it's exciting to see some of this kind of stuff and do it with my son.
Okay, what do you plan to print, Daniel, on the 3D printer?
Rubik's Cube parts.
Oh, what is the goal in having this machine here?
We are trying to provide equipment that is expensive and for people to use, or for new crafters, new sewers who may not want to run out and get a sewing machine if they don't know that that's what they want to stick with. So it's just kind of a new way of getting crafters into the library and help beginning crafters pick up a new skill, or encourage people who can't provide the material themselves to be able to have a place where they can go and use a sewing machine. This is the Singer Curvy. It's pretty basic. It's not computerized. It's simple. Anybody could walk up to it, hopefully, and figure out how to use it. And doesn't take too much expertise. It's basic seams, the threading, all of that is pictured on here. So we're hoping that beginners would find it really simple to use.
And what's in this kit?
This is the extra material that came with the sewing machine, so extra feet, bobbins. We did provide some basic non-consumable pieces. So we've got pins, we've got rotary blades, thread snippers, fabric scissors. The pedal and the power cord fit in here. So these are just basic tools that somebody could use, so they don't have to go out and buy. They can come in, use it real fast, leave it here, and just take home their fabric and their own thread and whatever. So
okay, so they provide mainly their own materials. And,
yeah, so the idea is anything that's consumable. We'll help them with the tools, but we're not going to build a scrapbook for them or provide the material for them to make a dress. They'll supply that, and we'll just make sure that the tools are on hand.
So this is the Silhouette Cameo. It cuts vinyl, it cuts cardstock, it cuts heat transfer material, it cuts all types of different things that you might want to make a stencil out of. And so these cards that we have that people can make in the meeting rooms today, these were all cut out, all these pieces were cut out with the Silhouette Cameo. And this is all cardstock, so each shape was cut out and then people can use them to assemble.
Okay.
Today we have vinyl that's available for use to cut out. And when you want to cut something out on the Silhouette, use Silhouette Studio, which is a program that you can get for free online on their website in order to be able to create your designs to send to the Silhouette camera. So if we go over here, you can do all kinds of different things. One thing you can do that's cool is you can write words. So you can go over here and select a font, and then you select the typeset over here, and you can write whatever you want. So if I want to write Forge, I can print that here and then print it out. And I can make a couple copies of this as well. So if you want to make multiple copies, you can go over here to replicate, and you can say that you want to fill the page. And we're probably not going to print out this many.
No?
We can print out a row. So we can print it out 4 times. And then we go over to the Silhouette. And make sure that it is loaded correctly. So I'm pretty straight line cut, so I'm going to cut it a little bit better.
Yeah. I think that's neat.
Right over here, we can go over here and make sure that it's set to cut vinyl. And that tells us what size the blade needs to be at. And we go over here to send a Silhouette, and it starts to print. It only takes a minute to print. Silhouette Cameo, you can see it's printing right now.
You're doing their projects.
Oh, I know, right? So I'll just cut out one of these. So this actually has the text on here, and when you take off the corners, that's when you can kind of see.
You have to have fingernails.
Yeah. And there actually is a hook tool, so you can do it a little bit easier. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Cool. That. And then you can take out the little middle pieces with this hook tool. It's easier to do on a flat surface.
It'd be nice to label things. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Because you can use all kinds of different fonts and stuff, so you can make really nice labels. You can do, like, if you want to have a quote on the wall in the kitchen or something like that. Like, yeah, that's fun.
I do the dishes.
Like, do the dishes. Exactly. Helpful reminders.
Right, clear your plates.
Exactly. All kinds of cool applications for it. So this is a transfer material. It's sticky. So you take your text here, and you can put it on here, and use the scraper tool in order to get it stuck really well onto here. And also to the countertop.
Yeah.
But you can see here.
So then you can put it on the wall.
Yeah, so now the sticky part's out here. So I didn't have to take each letter off separately, which was really nice. So we'll just take it here.
I'd like a bed.
Use the transfer in here. And then slowly peel it off. And if you were paying more attention, you'd probably do it straighter than I did.
Got to get a Batman.
And then
So, Brian, what's on this spool here?
Yeah, so this is the filament. It's a plastic material, and what happens here is it goes into the extruder here, and it's melted, and then once it melts, it falls out the bottom. If you want to step around, you'll get a better view of it.
And then you, I suppose, cut out whatever material.
Well, we kind of pry it off this heated build plate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to try sending another print job here. We'll see if this one works. And I need to extend it a little bit further. And there we go, we've got a bridge.
I think it's awesome that the library has these services for people to use and experiment with.